What up, guys? Alchemist here, and I got something nice for you. So, I believe after they did the 1.2 patch of the Genshin Impact trailer, live stream debut, I believe Xingqiu going to become even better. Not only as a support, the man's already S tier support, but also I think he will finally be seen as a DPS, a main DPS as well for certain people that don't have like Child or Klee or Dilute, some real high DPS people. I feel like Xingqiu finna be up there with Bennett even more when it comes to being a support, but also a main DPS character. My reason why, I would love to have 1.2 in front of me right now so I can test it out more, but do not sleep on him. Just strictly based off of numbers, I feel like he definitely will be able to. First things first, the new Hydro artifact that came out. The new Hydro artifact that came out, the 2-piece set improves Hydro damage by 15%. Just based off that alone, that's 15% already for Hydro damage, right? Xingqiu already got an ascension level where it increases his Hydro damage by 20%. You already talking about 35% right there. If you unlock this Constellation, I believe 4? No. Constellation 2. Anytime he hits someone with his elemental burst swords, which is easy, he shoot out 3 of them while you beating up on someone. It reduces the enemy that got hit by the sword. It reduces their Hydro resistance by 15%. So you might as well say this increases his Hydro damage by 50%, because whenever you use the elemental burst, you're gonna be doing even more Hydro damage to whatever enemy you're beating up on for the 4 seconds each time a sword hits the enemy until his elemental burst duration goes away. Of course, this gets better if you got his 6th constellation, which adds on another sword to the rain cutter. So he ended up shooting 5 water swords instead of just 3. But already that's 50% more Hydro damage going on right there. I'm gonna say 35% and then 15 Hydro resistance drop down when you do elemental burst. But not only that, that's without me even talking about using an artifact to raise his Hydro damage even more. You talking, he can get his Hydro damage up there to like levels like Klee when it comes to pyro damage. That's the type of levels we talking about right now. But the main reason Xingqiu gets shut down when it comes to DPS because his auto attacks aren't the best. This is where the 4-piece set comes in. After using his elemental skill, and keep in mind, Xingqiu's elemental skill and elemental burst, the scaling on it when you level him up is insane. His elemental skill and elemental burst do insane damage output. After you use his elemental skill, it increases his normal and charge attack for 25% for 12 seconds. If I remember right, how long is his cooldown on R2?
Your fate.
His cooldown on his R2 is literally 20 seconds, right? That you can feel the gap of the 8 seconds. You can feel the gap of the 8 seconds. Wait for his next skill by simply doing 2 things. One, if you got the sword, I believe it's called Sacrificial Sword, where when you trigger your R2, there's a chance for you to get your elemental skill back again a second time. You can space them out so that he does get his elemental skill back. I mean, space out to 12 seconds basically. So you can keep triggering the 25% when it comes to his normal attack damage. And come on, that's 2 elemental skills. I just told you his elemental skill stuff scales tremendously when you level him up. So that's 2 insane Hydro burst damage right there, let alone just his R2. And they're going to improve his normal attack and charge attack, making him, I feel like that extra 25% going to really help him out when it comes to him being a DPS carrier. Not only that, we now have Xinyan in the game. Having Xinyan in the game, I feel like this helps out Xingqiu simply because another problem for Xingqiu is he's a good support for other people because he triggered the vaporize or the freeze status effect for him, right? When Xingqiu is fighting, he don't really have anyone to help him trigger the vaporize elemental reaction to really help scale his DPS. Simply because there's not really a good fire support in this game to really help him out, except Xiaoling, when she put out her fire bear, which keeps spitting out fire, which will help him keep triggering a vaporize on his R2, which will do insane damage. But not only that, because of Xinqiu being thrown into the game, Xinyan being thrown into the game, her fire shield keeps emitting a pyro aura whenever you fight. Meaning, every time you fight an enemy, they get fire on them. Then right when they get fire on them, you can use Xingqiu's R2, well, elemental skill, to do the vaporize effect and do tremendous damage, right? I hear rumors that they're saying they buffing up Amber in the future. If that's the case, Amber going to be a good combination for Xingqiu, simply because her elemental burst, she shoots fire arrows for a certain amount of time from the air, right? While that's going on, you can be doing Xingqiu's elemental burst as well, where while her bows are striking down an enemy doing fire, his swords are striking enemy as well, which is doing vaporize, which is doing insane damage. On paper, remember, this is all math on paper. I would love to test this out, but I gotta wait till 1.2 come out. So that alone, I feel like he will be a good DPS character if treated right. Yeah, you can do 2 Hydra damage bonus. You can do the 2-piece set Hydra damage bonus for Xingqiu, and then do a 2-piece you can do a 2-piece Noblest set, so his elemental burst does 20% more damage. If you do that, yes, that would be amazing. You just got all these new Hydra bonuses for Xingqiu, and then boom, his elemental burst do 20% more damage. And if you got a maxed out constellation of him shooting 5 sword, insane, busted. Still one of the best supports out there with Bennett, easily, without a doubt. But right now, I don't want to speak on his support. We know Xingqiu is good. We know he's great with support. I'm thinking about, can he finally be a DPS carry? And I really believe he can now, with the patch 1.2 coming out. And if you got like Ganyu, for example, I seen her elemental burst. She keeps shooting out. It's like she put like a giant orb in there and he keep raining down ice. That she can be a support towards Xingqiu. If she not a good DPS person, I feel like she can be a good support for Xingqiu, because she keeps spitting out ice, but she can do with his ult that will keep freezing enemies for him to do DPS. I just right now, my mind is just blown with the new Hydro artifact that's coming out, that I can see big possibilities coming out of Xingqiu, not only as support but also the DPS, especially support. If you have not leveled up your Xingqiu yet, I highly recommend you level him up, because he's going to be an S tier support in 1.2 with all this Hydro bonus he's finna be getting, and his insane scaling on his elemental burst and elemental skill. If you get the sacrificial sword, sadly I don't got it. If you get the sacrificial sword, that makes it that he can spam his R2, his elemental skill even more. Give him the right artifacts that give him the Hydro bonus. And not only that, speaking on how he can be a main DPS, if you're doing all that Hydro bonus, give him the right artifacts like Scholar, for example, which improves his energy recharge by 20%, right? You do a Scholar set, get him to a high enough elemental recharge, energy recharge, like 200%, 250%. He's going to be getting his elemental burst insanely fast to keep up with that DPS that you need to level him out on the 5-star field. If he's spamming his elemental burst and you do that 6 constellation, he's still good if you don't have 6 constellation. But if you got the 2 constellation that's dropping the Hydro resistance, just fighting with him alone going to make him scale out in his DPS simply because you spam his elemental burst, the swords he's striking, his Hydro bonus is up there, so them swords are doing insane damage. Hydro resistance dropping some swords doing insane damage. It's just going to be hard to not look at him as a great DPS person, let alone already an amazing support person. If you're not looking excited for the Scholar set, then do Instructor. If I remember right, the Instructor said, let's see, where is it? The Instructor said it increases elemental mastery. And then whenever you do an elemental reaction with him, which is pretty easy with water in this game, and especially with Xingqiu, you do that, the 4th piece elemental mastery will give your whole team 120 elemental mastery. This is for if you want to use him as support. He gonna be even more insane, because all that water damage he's doing, Hydro damage he's doing, stacking up that elemental mastery. So whenever he do a vaporize or something, it's gonna do insane damage. Or vice versa, if you using him on a team like with Klee gonna be doing insane damage simply because of the extra elemental match you just gave your whole team with that 120 with the instructor brooch. Just remember, if you're gonna do the instructor, still make sure you get the energy recharge. The main thing that's gonna be important for Xingqiu's damage output is his elemental burst. With all that hydro bonus he's going to be getting now, if you can get him to keep getting his elemental burst, his DPS gonna be insane. He's just gonna be spamming his R2, spamming his elemental burst, striking swords down on the enemy, just doing insane damage. And this is not me even going into the fact that he's just great at, he can be a tank. With his elemental skill, he put swords around him that basically makes him take less damage from attacks that's hitting him. As long as you got a sword on you, circling around you, you're taking less damage. Even if you get beat up by an attack that does multiple, I forgot the golem. When he doing that spinning attack, you get hit multiple times. It does damage reduction to all the multiple hits you just took, and they only count that as one sword breaking. As long as you got a sword around you, you taking damage reduction no matter what. Same thing go his ult. His ult keeps damage reduction on you 24/7 until them swords goes away from the elemental burst. Only downside is you don't get health back from the sword shattering, but that don't matter. You got damage reduction. Damage reduction is amazing in this game. Any shield in this game is just amazing when it comes to you trying to do amazing DPS without having to worry about, oh, your health may drop down, oh, I need to heal. He put a shield on you. He can be fighting, doing amazing DPS while he got a shield on himself, and if they do attack him, break one of his swords, he getting some type of HP back from the sword breaking. I believe 8% from his max HP. It's just so many possibilities for him. I'm just letting you guys know right now. When 1.2 come out, I definitely will be testing him out and trying to see if he can be a main DPS. Don't sleep on him. I used to not like this guy. I used to give him something. I used to wish him, and I was like, man, why did they give me this man? I do not want to play with him. He looks whack to me. But you all right, you know. when you put the numbers together and stuff, you all right, man. You all right. Don't sleep on him, guys. Keep your eyes open. If you have not leveled him up yet as a great support, S tier support on your team, I highly recommend you get to it just like with Bennett. They are the best support class you can ever have on your team, especially how important Pyro is in this game, and Water just stacks so well with Pyro. And Water gonna stack perfectly with the new ice teams that'll be coming out. So make sure y'all get Xingqiu. He's gonna help you out with elemental reactions like a mug. But I believe he can be a great main DPS for you if you do not have a good DPS carry on your team. Hold me to it. I believe his numbers would definitely scale up there for you to do insane damage. And until next time, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe. Let me know if y'all like this video. Comment below if y'all want me to analyze any other character. Right now, I'm looking at Child as well. Xingqiu will help with water resistance being dropped with his elemental burst, and that will stack perfectly with Child, because Child gonna be insane with hydro damage. His hydro damage gonna go up with this new artifact, and then whenever he go into his R2, his elemental skill, which already fight fast, so his normal charge stack gonna be going up at 25% for 12 seconds. His talent already boosts the team freaking attack. You know, he already boosts the team normal attack by 1. Like, the possibilities are endless with 1.2. Keep your eyes open. Some of these characters that y'all been sleeping on, trust, don't sleep on them in this new patch. Don't sleep on them at all. There's gonna be some new possibilities coming out because of the new changes that they done. And like I said, until next time, stay up.